up, everyone? How we doing?
Hey, Bo. Obviously, you're in Des Moines. You're no stranger to the Iowa crowd. You faced Iowa wrestlers, Iowa State wrestlers. What do you expect the crowd? How do you expect their reaction to be once you step into the octagon?
I don't know. Initially, when I thought about this fight, I figured that there'd be a lot of people that wouldn't be too big of fans of me, having beaten a lot of their guys in the past. But just being in Des Moines and walking around and going and getting groceries and kind of being in the public, I'm getting a lot of really good response. And I think that what it comes down to is the wrestling community is super tight-knit and sticks together. And that's what I represent, I represent myself, I represent my family, Penn State, but I also represent wrestling, and I'm really happy to do that. So I feel a lot of love and support from the people that, maybe weren't the biggest fans of me in college, but want to support me, moving into MMA.
How would you describe the last season for Penn State? Obviously, you had Oklahoma State have a great season for their program. Iowa doing their thing as well. From a fan's perspective, how would you describe Penn State's outcome?
It's pretty unbelievable what the Penn State wrestling program, and Coach Cale Sanderson have been able to do. I'm grateful to have been a part of that program for 5 years and still continue to train and work out with the guys on a regular basis. So, I've kind of obviously saw the ins and outs as an athlete, and now getting to see the ins and outs, taking a step back, it's amazing, and it's just such a special group of people. And I feel like there just needs to be a tremendous amount of gratitude for what they've been able to do in a sport, and just been able to really push it forward and take it to a new level. So I'm looking forward to seeing their continued dominance, and guys, that come after, myself and the next few classes that are going to do bigger and better things.
Obviously, you have a tough opponent on Saturday night. What does he kind of bring to the table when it comes to skills and then kind of his overall game?
Yeah, when we look at DeRitter, I think that we can obviously talk about the jiu-jitsu. He's many submission finishes and different submissions. He's got very creative on the ground, and so that's something that I look at as high level skills. And he's also got a judo black belt, so he's a guy that uses that to his advantage in the clinch and being able to throw people. And then when I look at his striking, I think that he's got a really good jab. Straight left hand is pretty solid, but I think that at the same time he makes a lot of mistakes in all areas, on the ground, in the clinch, on the feet, and so that's something that I'll look to exploit. And I feel, with the game plan that my team and I have set, that I'll be able to do that. So looking forward to just competing from bell to bell, and we're pumped up about it.
This is my last question. Did you do anything differently during your fight camp to prepare for an opponent like that, or was it kind of the same as well, same over the last couple fights?
Yeah, did a little bulk up this camp, so got the weight up a little heavier. As DeRitter's a big guy. He's fought at 205 and at heavyweight, so he's a guy that I look at as a big dude. But it's just continued to develop and improve in all areas of my game. Improve my striking, improve my jiu-jitsu. I still believe I can continue to improve my wrestling, even though I'm pretty far ahead of the next best guys. But yeah, I love this sport, and it's fun for me. My favorite part of the day is getting to go train, and that's why I do what I do, is because I enjoy it, and it's fun.
Hey, Bo, over here. In your last fight with Paul Craig, you kept the fight standing to get the win. Facing another jiu-jitsu guy in DeRitter this weekend, how much of your grappling can fight fans expect to see this time out?
I'm definitely prepared to go to the ground with the grappling. I think that that's something that I would be excited to do. I was really grateful to spend some time this last training camp in Austin, Texas, with at the Roca Gym with Gordon Ryan and Isaac Michelle and Giancarlo Bodoni, Jason Nolf, a bunch of guys, Gary Tonin, that I was able to learn from and get some more jiu-jitsu work in. And so if we go to the ground, I'll be prepared, and I think that that would be a fun challenge for me.
And then you mentioned on Joe Rogan's podcast how you went golfing with President Trump. He recently was on Bryson DeChambeau's Break 50 challenge. Is that something you'd be interested in doing at some point?
100%. I think that we might have a hard time breaking 50. Bryson might have to do it by himself, but I'd absolutely do that. I love golf. Golf is super fun. it's something that I see myself spending a lot of time doing when I'm retired. Right now, the focus is on MMA and being the best fighter in the world, but that's a game you can play until you die, pretty much. So it's something that I would love to, spend more time doing in the future.
Thanks, Bo. Good luck.
Thank you.